Journey's helped me in a lot of different ways, especially being a dude and a man. It's hard to open up to people, especially when you're on substances or doing substances. You don't have a lot of trust in people. So Journey has been very helpful, especially to me, to have somewhere to go when I need it. And have
Finding drugs, it first started for me when I was a junior in high school, if I was to guess right, maybe a sophomore. Smoked weed to start with. Didn't really take to it. Drank alcohol, wasn't really my thing. And then I went to another party where alcohol, weed, and cocaine was present. And I tried cocaine and I was like, holy shit. Like this is my thing. I feel normal. It was my escape. So when that happened, you know, from working and everything, I had money saved up. I was doing fairly well. I felt like I was on the right path, and cocaine was like my escape to feel normal.
I got to the hospital about 2 hours later. I would have died. My organs were shutting down. My liver, kidneys, everything. They were gonna have to put me on dialysis. They didn't think I was gonna make it. My bottom was gonna be death. Within a month, I had relapsed and shot right back up to the same amount of pills I was taking.
I grew up to some really young parents. My mom had me when she was 17, or the day after she turned 18, actually. She had my brother when she was 16. My parents were divorced after like a year, so I grew up in like a split household. My dad had some struggles with addiction throughout a chunk of his life, and for a while it was me and my mom, my brothers, and now my dad is in recovery. He's doing really well. He's been sober for a long time, and I now have luckily both my parents there to support me. I didn't care much about school because I was always kind of battling like the things that I was dealing with at home, and I didn't feel like school helped me kind of manage those situations. There would be these days where my dad would wake up and he would be like just on edge and really like holding on by thin hairs to his sobriety, and it was like the type of situation where he'd like lock himself in his room, and if he heard me like doing basically anything, like run up the stairs, it was like enough to bother him to a point where he was feeling like he was really struggling, and he would lash out at times. But I always kind of knew that he was in the midst of a battle, and on those days I would just like go to the basketball court and shoot hoops, or you know, find a friend's house to hang out with for that day. And I never really knew that my situation was like different than other people's, because you only really know your situation and you don't like talk about this kind of stuff with people. And so a lot of it for me was just like trying to pretend like it was normal and keep moving forward as best as I could. But like I said, with my situation with school, it kind of, looking back on it now, I know that it wasn't so normal, and I was kind of battling things that are really difficult to manage. Luckily, I just had some really good teachers that went above their basic expectation and kind of told me that I was capable. And even though I wasn't showing that I was capable, they were the supports that kind of like made me think about myself and not my situation. And they made me realize that it was not like my dad's battle was not my battle.
For years, he has struggled with a dangerous drug addiction that nearly destroyed him. And today, he says he's clean, he's in love. And so by the time you're in prison, that's not rock bottom for you?
Nope. It's easy to embrace hopelessness when things seem insurmountable. And yet, it's actually just a matter of time until all of the elements come together for things to be all right. I mean, I believe that, you know, most difficult situations will resolve themselves if you are persistent and if you don't give up entirely. And that's what I never did. I never gave up.
Do you still get urges to do drugs?
I have not even an inkling of a desire. It's not that difficult to overcome these seemingly ghastly problems. What's hard is to decide.
Understand that there's no passive decision. Like every action in the entire universe has a reaction, and that's physics. And there's no way to dispute that. And so we all have actions and we all make choices. And it's like crazy that you can convince yourself, because I did, that your like choices didn't matter. Your circumstances are what has dictated the decisions that you're making.
In my life right now, healthy choices of dealing with the problems, healthy choices on bringing that joy and happiness. I can't say that you can ever take the pain away from what you caused, but there is definitely ways of dealing with it in a better manner. And with practice of those manners, you're only going to go nothing but up. For as you see life, you're going to see it in a whole different way than what you would see it behind active use of any type of drug. And the thing is that you just gotta that I've learned myself, is you just gotta keep practicing those healthy choices. And it's not the same choice doesn't work for everybody. You gotta find what really truly stimulates your mind in a positive manner. Learning the ways to connect with your gut feeling, your heart, your soul, your spirit, and trust that little voice. I found with myself, trusting that voice has gotten me so much further in life in a little bit of time in my recovery than what my head caused for chaos in my life previously to this journey. It's definitely not easy, but I tell you what, it is very satisfying. The gratitude and acceptance you get from everyone around you, and possibly even the loved ones that you hurt, is just, I wouldn't say overstimulating, because that would be not true. It's a feeling that you wouldn't want to trade. And I know it's hard to get to that point. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of strength, but I know everyone has it within them to do it.
I had to regain motor skills. I had to regain talking skills. It's been a learning process. I'm growing. I just couldn't believe that anybody could ever be naturally happy or naturally function or be just enjoying life in general without being on something. So I would say that to anybody that it does get better.
But it gets better. It gets better as you get stronger and as you have a vision of where you want to get to. And like once you have that vision of where you want to get to, and you can start checking off boxes and seeing your own growth, and seeing the changes within yourself that are like measurable, all of a sudden you pass a test because you did a little bit of the homework, and all of a sudden like you get a diploma when you were told 12 months ago that you weren't going to get a diploma. It's like those little things that make you feel confidence in yourself and belief in yourself. Like you have to put those in your back pocket.